Hello, good morning everyone. How are you all? Okay. So, hello. Am I audible and perfectly legible to you? So you can write in chat box. You can write in chat box whether I am perfectly audible and perfectly visible to all of you. Okay. Let me check it. Fine. So I'm getting the responses here. We'll start in next. Just wait for student. Okay. So good morning. Good morning. Am I audible? Am I audible to all you? And visible? Write in chat box that I am visible and audible perfectly. You can write in chat box. I'm getting the responses. Yes. Okay. Okay. So I am perfectly audible and perfectly visible. So we can start now. Okay. So as you can see here in today class, we will discuss the 1D motion. And in 1D motion, we will discuss some problems and some conceptual things. Okay. Great. So first of all, welcome to the Avanti class. And in this class, we are discussing the 1D motion. In this, we will discuss first theoretical concept, and after that, we will solve some neat PYQ problems. Okay, so we can start now. Okay, so in one-dimensional motion, as name suggests, the dimensional means one dimension, two dimension, three dimension. If we are taking the one-dimensional motion, in that case, what happens? The system, or you can say particle, is moving in one dimension. One dimension means, let's say, if particle is moving horizontally, then we can say it is having one-dimensional motion. For maximum time for horizontal motion, we are taking x as the horizontal component. Okay, so this in this type, like if a system is moving in vertically upward motion, then its motion will be along y-axis. So we can say motion will be in one dimension. Okay, so how we can define a point in coordinate system? Let's say point having coordinate x, y, and z. So we can define point as e, x, y, z. That will be the coordinate of the system. But in this case, one dimensional motion, we will discuss only one dimensional coordinate. That will be x, separately y and z. Okay, so at particular instant, if particle having position x, then displacement associated with that position change, that will be equal to vx over dx over dt. Mean rate of change in the x position with respect to the time, that will call it velocity along x-axis. Similarly, if we are going to take the derivation, or you can say differentiation of this Vx with respect to time, then we are getting the acceleration. See, if position changing only along x-axis in one dimension, then acceleration will associated with same axis, and velocity also. We can't say like if particle is moving along x-axis and we are saying the velocity will be y-axis. In that case, velocity along y-axis become 0 because y parameter will be constant. Accordingly, for the y-axis, the velocity will be dy by dx, and this will be a y dy by dx. Acceleration will be there. And for z-axis, similarly, we can write dz over dt. See, what do you mean by this differentiation? Like if I am having a graph like time and position graph, in that case, the slope of this graph, I can write it here. The slope of this graph, like this graph, the slope of this graph, that will be equal to dx over dt. The slope of this graph will give me the direction. Sometime in NEET, the question is asked on the basis of the graph only. In that case, if you are finding the slope of that graph, then you can easily say the how the system is involving with the time. You can say change in the change in the position with respect to the time. That will be the velocity. Similarly, if I am having VT graph, then the rate of changing velocity will give us the rate of changing the velocity will give us the acceleration. So I can say the slope of this graph dv by dt equal to acceleration. Okay, so this will be the acceleration of this vt time graph. Okay, so now now see for accelerating system, which means if a system is accelerating, in that case we can find the position by integrating, because we already know v equal to dx over dt, and if we want to find the displacement, that will be v and dt. If we want to find the what is the displacement during the entire process, that will be equal to integration of this x t v dt. Okay, listen carefully. In this case, this velocity must be equal to velocity along x-axis. If it is along y-axis, then this will act as a constant in this integration function. Clear? Accordingly, we can find if ay is variable, then we can find the displacement along displacement over the complete path along the y-axis by integrating dy dt, and we can easily find the velocity if we are having, because we already know a equal to dv over dt. Then we can easily find dv equal to a dt. Now, if we are integrating this, then we can find, like if I want to find the velocity, if there is graph AT graph, then I can find the velocity along this graph, that will by integrating. See, this is the like if I am having the graph, ये तो integration factor से हमने find out किया है. If we are having the graph like AT graph, if I am having AT graph like this, इस तरह के कोई graph है, then the area under this curve, integration mean area under the curve, area under the curve, that will be known as the, like if we are having AT curve, the area under the curve gives us the velocity a integration dt. This will give us the velocity. If I am having the graph like time and this velocity, then I can say the area under this velocity time graph will give me the displacement, or you can say position and the complete path of this graph. Okay, so two type of question asked in your exam. First will be based on the this integration relation. If velocity is given to you in some functional form, then you can easily find the displacement or the velocity by integrating this factor between the time range. Like say sometime what happens if particle start from rest to some time t equal to 3 seconds, then you need to put the, like if it is starting from t equal to 0 to 3 seconds, then you need to put limit here 0 to 3. Then you can easily find the displacement. Is that clear? Is that clear? You can write in chat box. Is this clear? Okay, awesome. I'm getting the responses. So now this is for the x acceleration. Acceleration. In that case, we can find the position, velocity, and the displacement. If we want to find the displacement, then this is the equal to the vx dt. Similarly, okay. So these are the expressions. You can take a screenshot of these expressions that will be used in our main code. And if graph is given to you, like 80 graph is given to you, then the question has asked like find the velocity. Then what you need to do, only you need to find the only area under the 80 curve that will give you velocity. Clear? Okay, very good. Now, if you are having a system with accelerated motion, mean if the system is accelerating, in that case, how you can find the displacement, velocity, and the uh, acceleration, all these things. Like acceleration means system is accelerating, means system having some acceleration. In previous case, systems acceleration, like acceleration is changing with the time along x-axis, along y-axis, and z-axis. We already know these are the equation of motion. Three equation of motion. Like first equation of motion, we can say if a system having initially started from rest to some velocity, then the final velocity can be written as this, v equal to u plus at. Here a is the acceleration of the system. Again, s equal to ut plus half at square. Mean if system is started at t equal to 0 time from rest, then we can easily find the displacement, or how much the is this displaced during this time interval. Okay, this t time. So by this second equation, we can easily find the systems moving with some acceleration, and we can find the path. By this expression, like if a system is starting from rest, it means u equal to 0. So I can directly write this as s equal to half at square. In that case, what I need to do, only I need to put the time, how much time it taken, and what is the acceleration. In that case, I can find the displacement of this point. Okay, and if we are having not time, if we are having like displacement, like particle displaced from 2 meter, particle is displaced with 2 meter, and initially it is having some like part, I can say the question is like this: particle having initially on rest, and it displaced with 2 meter. 2 meter is displaced, which means displacement equal to 2 meter mean, and acceleration you need to find. You need to find acceleration, and final velocity is given to you like 2 meter per second is final velocity. Then you can easily find the acceleration here. How you can find? By using this expression, we can find v square minus u square equal to 2as, and we can easily find acceleration u square, and this will be equal to v square u square minus 2s displacement, and you need to put here only displacement and v square minus u square. Okay, is this clear? Is this clear? I think. Okay, I can see the responses here. Okay, very good, awesome. So see, I am also telling you like another graph. There is another graph that is acceleration and displacement graph. In NEET exam, 2-3 times it is asked that what will be the see here it is like here in x-axis it is given as the x, and it is given in the like acceleration given here. So this is the acceleration and displacement graph, like it is having like this straight line curve. So in this case, as I just written here, v square u square over 2, that will be equal to a like a and x. This is x displacement. I can also write, said if I'm talking about the displacement, then a delta x. In that case, what we can see here, a is the acceleration, delta x. So this is the area under this ax curve. Area under this ax curve, if I multiply this with this mass, then what did it give me? F dot this displacement, I can say mass multiplied here, F dot dx, and this is equal to what? Half m v square minus u square. This is the change in the kinetic energy. I can, or this is the work. I can say this area under this ax graph will give me the change in the kinetic energy, and that is equal to the work. So 2 times the question asked from this graph, like you have given you have given this graph like parameter 1, 2, 3, and along y-axis it is given accelerator system 1 meter per second square, 2 meter per second square. In that case, what you need to find, what is the change in the kinetic energy of the system. So how you can find? By considering only area under the curve. Is this clear now? Clear? When we will do 1, 2 problem, then it will be more. Awesome. Now, when a system is having the acceleration due to gravity motion, like a system is moving under the gravitational effect. So, like if a system, like I can say, if like two cases are there, if a ball is throwing in downward, and this is the, I can say, horizontal surface. Okay, I can say like if it is ball from some height and motion in downward, so I can say acceleration. And what is the acceleration going in here? Acceleration is same as the downward. G also downward. This G also downward, acceleration is also down. In that case, what will be equation of motion of B equal to U plus GT here plus GT during the downward motion. And what will be second law? Second law will be equal to T plus half GT square. Now, and third law will like if it is here height, then we can also change this S with height. So we can write also this height. So total displacement from this height to this ground, you can say S equal to 0 at the ground, and from this height it is H. So, and third equation of motion will be equal to V equal to U square plus 2GH. Okay. So by this way we can say these will be the equation of motion. Now, if system having upward motion, like I'm having a motion along y-axis, this particle is moving during in upward direction, which means acceleration A, it is having in up direction, but gravitational acceleration will be in down. So I can say here the equation of motion will be equal to V equal to U minus GT, and second equation will be equal to S equal to UT minus G T square, and the third equation will be equal to V square minus, V square equal to U square minus 2GH. This will be these three are will be the equation of motion, or we can say Newton's equation of motion for the system when we are having. I can write here like this is for the downward motion, and this is for the upward. Okay, write in chat box. Is this clear to you or not? Hello, is this clear now? Okay, awesome. So take a screenshot of this, because on base repeat. Okay, I'm repeating it. See, if a system, or you can say if a body having free fall mean it is falling in downward direction, which mean acceleration इस system का कहाँ पे होगा? Downward direction. और acceleration due to gravity कहाँ पे act करता है? हमेशा towards the earth. Always it is acting towards the earth, which means this acceleration will be equal to this G, same I can say minus A because of downward, and minus G. So I can directly write it as AG. Mean in all Newton's equation of motion, I need to put here A equal to G. Okay. Now see in this case, acceleration is in positive of direction. So acceleration is positive, but G is acting in downward. G is acting down. So I can write here A equal to minus of G. Then I only put it A equal to minus A in all three equations of Newton's equation. Is that clear? Now it's clear. Tell me. Okay, awesome. Now we can go for next slide. First, take screenshot of this. So that you can use these equation when you are having like numerical problem, and directly use on these equations. Okay. think all have taken the screenshot of this. Chalo, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now, see. Now we are going to like a system is started from initially t equal to 0 second and next 1 second, second second, third second, fourth second, fifth second. In this case, what will be happen? System is moving with some velocity and how much displacement covered during nth second. First we will to use this is the for the t second. In that case, and this is for the displacement. If time is not given to you, then you can find easily displacement by using this. If time is given to you, like 1 second, t equal to 3 second, t equal to 4 second, t equal to 5 second. In that case, here n is representing the nth second. So the displacement, or you can say displacement between the like 0 to n second, that will be given as for n second. I can say Sn equal to for n second. This will be v naught. That will be initial velocity, and a over 2 n minus. If I am in gravity under gravity, then what will be height covered? h n second में जो height होगा, that will be equal to v naught plus g over 2 and 2n minus में कौन सा मोशन होगा? Downward, down. And like if I put here another equation, v minus g by 2n minus 1, that will be for upward. Okay, this will be the displacement covered in n second. In need 2-3 times the question asked based on this n second in 2021, in 2022, and like 2020. Continuously 3 years this like n displacement question and n displacement based formula question is asked, and that is a totally formula based question. Okay, so take a note of this also. Take note of this. This is the formula, very important here. Okay, I hope you noted this. Now see, we will solve some problem. Okay, we will solve some problems here. You can see here, this is the 2012 AIMS problem. In this class, we will solve only PYQ problem that will help you in a NEET exam. So now the displacement is given, or you can say the path of this particle is given by v naught, v plus v1 plus v2 t square. You need to find the acceleration of this particle. How you can find the acceleration of this particle? See, we already know particle is moving along x-axis and x is a function of time. Then what we can say, vx will be equal to dx over dt. Then if we differentiate this, like in differentiation, this formula always use x to the power n, that will be equal to n x to the power n minus. Always use this formula for differentiation purpose. Here the depending variable is t, so I'm taking the differentiation with respect to t. Then differentiation of this v naught, that will be 0 here because it will be constant. Only here function is t. So I can write here v1, and this t differentiation will become 1. Then this v2 and t square differentiation put here. Like I want to find the t square difference. Then n is here 2 and t 2 minus 1. Then the differentiation will be 2t. So I can put directly here v2 and t. Now what will be vx here? Vx is only v1, 2, v2 and t. Okay. Now I want to find the acceleration. Acceleration will be equal to dvx over dt. Now take again differentiation of this. Then v1 act as a constant, then differentiation of constant value will be equal to 0. And next, the differentiation of this function, here is only t, then the differentiation of this t will be 1. So I can directly write it as v2. Then the correct option will be the acceleration of this particle along x-axis is v2. If in this question, like sometime what need what to do, he asked, it is given to you displacement. Then he asked like what is the displacement along y-axis? If it is given in coordinate form, then displacement along y-axis will be here 0. Okay, so this will be the correct answer. D option will be the correct answer for this one. Okay. Okay. Now let's for this next question. If a car covers 2/5 of the total distance with V1 speed and the 3/5 of the distance with V2 speed, then we need to find the average speed. What will be the average speed? Okay. So how we can proceed this question? कैसे proceed करेंगे इसको? सबसे पहले देखो in this question it is given like if a car covers 2/5 of distance, let's say total distance covered in D. Let's take total distance covered is D. Okay, with V1 velocity, distance covered with V1 velocity. Let's say that is a D1. What will be distance here? Distance is equal to that is 2/5 of this D1. 2/5 of this total distance, and similarly for this V2. Let's say distance is D2. It is given as 3/5 of this D. Now we need to find the average. So what will be average? Total distance over average speed. I can write V average, that will be equal to total distance and total time. Total distance is D time. How we can find the time here? Time will be equal to that will velocity. Sorry, distance over time we already know. The time will equal to distance over velocity. So find like for each, if the system is having V1 velocity, then what is the distance? That is the 2/5 D, and velocity is V1 plus what is the distance here? In this case, 3/5, and what it will be here? It will be D over V. Now see here, this D will in numerator and denominator we can cancel out there. Then we will have only 2/5 V1 plus 3/5 V2. Now D also cancel here, so I can remove here for this expression. I can remove this. So now now I can directly write it as 1 equal to 5 also common, so 5 can become side in numerator. V1 V2 will be LCM, so here by taking LCM here I will get 2 V2 plus 3 V1, take LCM, and V2 will be here multiplied and 3 V1 will be multiplied here, and denominator V1 plus V2. Then E average will be equal to 5 times V1 V2 and denominator में 2 V2 and 3 V1. The correct option we are getting here, this D option. Is this clear? Is this question? This question is clear. Okay, very good. Most of are getting the correct answer for this question. That is V average. Okay, very good, very good, awesome. It means you are focusing here and you are solving with me also. Okay, that is a very good. See, if system having only two velocity, like V1 velocity and V2 velocity. See, this question can also be asked in another frame, like system is having V1 velocity and the V2 velocity. Then what will be the average? Average speed will be just like V option. But here it is covering the different distances. That's why the time taken will be different. So we need to take total distance and the total time. Clear? So now we can go for the next Next question, see this question. When a ball is thrown up vertically with velocity v naught, it reaches a maximum height of h. If one wishes to triple the maximum height, then the ball should be thrown with velocity. मोशन कहाँ पे हो रहा है? अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन. अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन में वर्टिकली बॉल को अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन में थ्रो किया हुआ है. देन हाइट will be equal to, और initial velocity क्या है इसका? v naught. Then I can write height will be equal to u square over 2g only. How I am writing this? V square minus u square equal to 2. So wait. I need to write it properly here. Then you will get clarity. V square equal to u square minus 2gh. Why I am taking minus here? Because in this case, system is thrown in upward direction. Okay, at maximum height, when it reaches its maximum, then final velocity will become equal to 0, and initially velocity is given as the v naught. So I can write it here, u square equal to 2gh. Then I can write h equal to u square over 2g. Clear? This is the maximum height when it is thrown with this velocity. Now in question it is given that one wishes to triple the maximum height. Triple the maximum height mean height we can triple with h max. And what will be the initial velocity? Let's say initial velocity is now u prime square, and what it will be here? This was over this velocity. I can put it in a v naught square over g only. Then u prime square over 2g. Then I can directly write it here by this expression. By this expression, that will be equal to this expression I am writing here. 2g will cancel out from here. Now this will be u prime square, and this 3 v naught square. If I am taking the under root of this, then u prime, that will be root 3 v naught. This is the velocity of this ball initially when height becomes rise. Triple maximum height. Okay, so we need to throw this ball by with this velocity initially. Okay, is this clear? Okay, most of are giving the answer here. Writing chat box. Now we can solve next question. See this question. So this question is based on velocity equal to at plus pt square, where a and b are the constant. Then the distance traveled by it's between 1 second and the 2 seconds. See, carefully read this question. In this question, velocity is given and a and b are the constant. Then you need to find the distance traveled. Velocity is given to you. First, solving. Take 1 minute and solve. Then I will solve this. Okay. I'm giving you 1 minute to solve this question. Okay. Last 40 seconds. Okay, you are giving the answer. Very good, very good. Some have solved this. Very good. Awesome. Okay, so I'm solving. Most of are getting the answer. Now I am solving this question. So velocity is given as at plus pt square, and we already know distance. How we can find distance will be equal to v dt by integrating this. Integration is from where? 1 second to 2 seconds. So I need to integrate from 1 to 2. Then this will be equal to integration at plus pt square, and integration we already know. What we know? X to the power n, and dx integration will have x to the power n plus 1, and the division will be n plus 1. If there is some like indefinite integral, then we will get constant, but here we are having definite integral, then we are not need any constant. Okay, so put it here, a t to the power 1. So 1 plus 1 means 2 square, division mein 2. Now for this second term, here we are having square, then t to the power 2 plus 1, 3, mean that t cube over 3. This will be the integration. Now put the values here. If we put the values, then if we put the values here, then this displacement will be equal to a by 2. T will be here from this 2 square upper limit and 1 square lower limit plus. Now see, for second term, we are having b by 3 and this t means 2 cube and 1 cube. Now we can directly find the relation here. 2 square 4 minus 1, that will be 3 plus b here. Now 2 cube mean 8 minus 1, that means 7. Then correct option will be 3a by 2 plus 7 by 3. Very good. So how many students got this answer? Write in chat box. How many students? Okay. Maximum students got the answer. Very good. Awesome. Mean you are in good track to preparation. Like, बहुत बढ़िया. Awesome. चलो आगे बढ़े. Now solve this problem. This problem is asked in NEET 2020. Okay, in this question, what they ask, like, if a small block slide down on a smooth inclined plane. See, smooth inclined plane starting from rest at t equal to 0. Let Sn be the distance traveled by the block in interval t equal to n minus 1 to n. Mean displacement in which second? N second we need to find the displacement. Just before mean n minus 1. And we need to find the ratio. See, this is in this term, like there is some printing error, like S, this will be n plus 1. Okay. Now, okay, so we already know about the displacement can be given in n second. That will be equal to u plus 1 by 2. Here also t, can write here t. And so wait a minute. I'm writing first general, then we will write here. Right here. Right. Now, the S and displacement is written as A over 2 and 2n minus. This is the S and displacement. Okay. Now, if I'm having S n plus 1, then what will be displacement here? A over 2 n plus 1 minus 1, then directly it will be equal to A 2n plus 2 minus 1, then this will be equal to A by 2 and 2n plus. If I am taking as n plus, see, when we are taking the ratio of both of them, then this A will cancel out here. If, like, first solve this question, then I will tell you how this question will be different. When, like, in numerator, I will get here 2n minus 1. A by 2 will cancel out here. And here I will get answer. This will be the answer for this question. Like in this same question, we can solve like this in same question, like there is no Sn1, Sn2 asked. Only he asked, like, what will be the displacement in n second? Like if in inclined plane block having like 30-degree here, n second it is asked. Then how we can find? In this question, we can find it here by using this expression. Here we need to take the component of this G. Like, let's say this is the ball is moving. In question it is given block, so I need to make here block, not a block. So I make block here. This is the block. This block is going slide down. Then the G will be downward and another G will be here. So that will be equal to, this will be G cos theta. Now this will be equal to G sin theta. During the sliding motion, what is the acceleration here? This G. Then the displacement will be in this direction. In this direction, displacement will be written as G sin theta and by 2. This will be equal to 2n minus 1. This will be the displacement along this sliding motion. Okay, we need to change the acceleration. Is this clear? Is this clear now? Okay. Okay, very good. Awesome. Now we will discuss graph problem questions. See, in this, we are having two type of motion. That first will be uniform motion and another will be non-uniform. In this case, I'm taking the graph. First, we will discuss uniform motion and then discuss. Now, uniform motion means the velocity is constant. Uniform motion means the velocity is constant. It is not changing with time. If there is constant velocity, then what will be acceleration here? Acceleration will be equal to dv by dt. If v is constant, then acceleration will be equal to 0. Okay, acceleration will be equal to 0 here in this case. Now see, okay, see here, like displacement time graph. First, I'm taking displacement time graph. Displacement is varying linearly. If I'm taking linearly, mean y equal to mx. If I'm taking differentiation of this thing, like y mx, which means here the displacement is x, then mt. If I'm taking differentiation of this dx by dt, then I'm taking m, that will be only the functional value, like only constant, like this. This is the velocity. Straight line graph converted into this line. Clear? And acceleration will be 0. See, upside I am making this. Okay, is this clear now? So slope is constant, then this velocity is constant, slope is 0 in this case, then this et will be equal to 0. Magnitude of the slope will be equal to constant. 0 slope is there. Now see second case. Here slope is negative. You can see here slope is positive, means theta will be, we are taking here positive. Okay. Now if this slope is negative, which means it is going decrease, we can say it is going decrease. In that case, the velocity will be equal to negative, which means I'm taking here x equal to minus mt, or velocity something. Then this graph of x is decreasing because of this negative sign. I can say here this x equal to a negative slope. If there is negative slope, then velocity will be negative. Okay. Now see the third graph. Nature of this slope will be equal to 0, because here we are having constant velocity and slope will be constant. Okay. So this is the displacement time graph, and we are converting this into this acceleration graph and velocity time. Now see the second case, that will be non-uniform case. In this case, you can see here displacement is linearly varied. If displacement is linearly varied, then velocity is the constant. Okay, and acceleration will be equal to 0. Now see in this graph, like here the acceleration, this displacement is changing with the time, not uniformly, non-uniform. Like first is it decreasing, then it is increasing. In this case, this slope is, we need to find what will be slope here. Now in this case, we will find the what will be slope. So like we can say this will look like parabolic graph. So I can say y equal to mx square something, some graph slope will something like here we are having x, so it will be equal to m t square something. If I'm taking the dx by dt of this graph, then I will get mt, 2mt. Will mean the velocity will be linearly depend on time. If I'm taking again differentiation, then I will get here constant, that will be only 2m. Mean this acceleration will be constant. This acceleration will be constant. Here we are having the initially, we will discuss one by one by this part, but now you can see here the parabolic graph of this displacement and the time graph is converted into linear in velocity graph. Next, if we are taking differentiation, and then we are getting as a constant. In previous case, what we are getting 0 acceleration. Here we are getting constant acceleration. Okay, so this will be the graph. Now we will, in this graph, what we are getting here, we are getting the, like can say in this case some hilly area. We can say hilly area means the first derivative will be like we will see in this case the slope is increasing. Then one by one we will discuss. Before now, like the conversion, we are seeing here directly conversion parabolic to straight line. A straight line after in acceleration graph will be equal to this constant acceleration. Now we will break this graph into like left part and right. Now we will see here, if graph is look like this, like some increasing order. In this case, we can see this slope is positive here. Slope is positive mean this displacement is increasing order. Mean displacement is increasing, then this slope of this graph, velocity time graph, will be positive here. Mean this positive and the constant, it will not changing with the time. So this will be the conversion of velocity time graph. If it is having some parabolic from positive x-axis, then the graph having positive, you can say increasing, or displacement is increasing, then velocity also increasing. This is also, you can say, increasing graph. This will be increasing graph. Now you can see here the acceleration graph. If it is linear, then acceleration will constant. Same, acceleration will constant, and the rate of change of acceleration is 0 here, because jerk mean like how your acceleration is changing, how your acceleration changing with time. Here acceleration constant, then this will jerk equal to 0. Sometimes in question it is asked like, if a system is moved with 2 meter per second acceleration, 2 meter per second square acceleration, and it acceleration just change 4 meter per second square acceleration, then what will be jerk here? We need to find the time, like in 2 seconds it is 4 meter, like initially a1 equal to 2 meter per second square, a2 equal to 4 meter per second square, or the conversion timing delta t equal to 2 seconds. Then what will be jerk here? Jerk will be a2 minus a1, and this t2 minus t, that is the delta t. This will be 4 minus 2, and this will be equal to this 2, that will be equal to 1 meter per second cube. Why I am getting second cube here? Because in denominator there is also time. Okay, so this will be the conversion of this graph. Now, the nature of slope, positive magnitude of the slope. See here, the slope is positive, but you can say this magnitude of this slope is decreasing. Why it is decreasing? Because if I am going in this line, then this slope is also decreasing. If I am going again, then this slope is decreasing, which means decrease slope is positive here, no issue, but slope is decreasing. In that case, this velocity will having negative slope, because it is decreasing case, and the slope is constant because we are having parabolic shape. That case, the same, the ET graph with acceleration will be constant. Okay. Now, same thing we are having. In this case, the slope is negative, but this acceleration is decreasing. In that case, we are getting velocity in negative axis. See, in this case, we are getting velocity in positive axis because the slope was positive. That's why. Here we are getting in negative axis, mean the slope is negative. That's why we are getting this thing. Now, say here the velocity, this is decreasing here. In this case, slope is negative. This displacement is decreasing. In that case, this is positive, but we are having this case, this is negative. Okay. And this, like here, we are getting negative, but the slope of this graph negative. Because of that, we are having constant acceleration, so that will be in negative axis. Here we are getting positive axis because this this slope of this graph is positive. Why it is positive? Because it is in this increasing order. It is not going like, you can say from here I can take the slope of this graph, that will be the positive angle. In previous case, what is going to happen here? Here this slope is this angle slope. You can say this is decreasing order. In that case, slope is negative. Here the slope is positive. That's why I'm getting acceleration in this positive. Okay. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Graph problem. Now solve one of the problem. Then this concept will clear to you. See this graph. This is the graph of displacement. As we already seen, the parabolic nature will convert into straight line when we are going to differentiate it. This. Then which option will be correct here? Can you write in chat box? Fatafat. Write in chat box what will be the answer of this question. Which graph will be suitable here? Option A, B, C. Which one will be? Can you tell me? Write in chat box. Okay, most of are giving the correct answer. Some of not. Let's see. See, till this point, this graph having, you can see here, this is negative slope. Negative slope. No, not negative. You can say slope is going positive, but slope is decreasing. Here we are getting theta and theta something. Theta final will be very small as compared to this angle. Mean this slope is decreasing. Slope is decreasing, have positive value. From here, it is also decreasing. It is also decreasing. So we can say by this graph, and here it is going in negative axis. So it is decreasing slope. Decreasing slope, but having pull. I can say this graph will look like this. Clear? Okay. So option A will be correct here. Now see this graph. Which of the following graph represent the uniform motion? As I already said you, uniform motion mean velocity need to be constant here. So you can see here by straight line y equal to x. You can say here s is displacement, so s is t only. Then if I'm taking the differentiation of this ds, then it will give us the 1, mean constant. So this graph gives the constant value after differentiating, but this is not. This is given like this. This is equal to, in this case, in second graph, s equal to, wait. This graph, we are having s equal to t square. Mean we are not getting the proper linear nature of this curve. That will be equal to 2t. Mean it is linearly depending. In the displacement, the velocity curve will be like straight line, not constant. As I already told you, uniform mean the velocity will become constant. Okay. Third graph, you are saying, sir, third graph, why? Because here the displacement is just going decrease. Because of that, the velocity will change. The system will not be uniform. Okay. In this case, if we are differentiating, then we are getting zero velocity. Mean like system is not moving, only it is having same position, no displacement. Now see this question. In this question, what we are having, like displacement time graph of moving particle is shown in figure. Instantaneous velocity of the particle is negative. Negative means slope need to be decreased, negative slope. Okay, see here in this point. In this point, what is the slope here? The slope for this graph, you can write it here. A to B, the slope will be going like this. The slope from at C point will be going, mean positive angle will be there. Okay, mean here is the positive slope. Now see in this here, this point, we are getting the negative slope. Here you can see also, but from this point it is going to start. Then I need to take this. Then the slope is positive. In this case, slope is negative. Then the negative slope particle mean instantaneous velocity mean this slope. You can say d s over dt. Slope mean this. If this is negative at this point, then the instantaneous velocity will be particle is at this point. Okay, so now see this question. First see this question. I already told you, like this is the acceleration and the time graph. You need to find the maximum speed. Maximum speed. Maximum speed, what it will be maximum speed? See, initially when t equal to 0, what will the velocity acceleration is? This. At t equal to 0, acceleration is this. Then v equal to a multiply time. I can find initially it is having 0 velocity. Because time is 0. I need to find the maximum. That will be v final. How we can find the v final? That will be area this curve. What will be the area of this curve? V final equal to 1 by 2. Base into height, because it is look like triangle. So what will be area of this? that will be 11 multiply 10 meter per second, because acceleration is 10 meter per second. Then this will be 5. Then 11 5 ja 55. Velocity will be meter per second. This will be the finally maximum velocity. In case if it is asking minimum velocity will be here. Is this clear? I hope this is clear to you. Okay, awesome. Most of are saying like it is very. Now see, this will be the question. A body start from rest, move along this straight line with constant acceleration. The variation of speed v with distance s is given by this graph. Read carefully this question. A body start from rest, move along a straight line with constant acceleration. If acceleration is constant, then what will be velocity? Velocity need to be, like if I'm taking integration of this constant acceleration, then what I will get here, a time plus c, a time plus c, a time plus c. Here acceleration is constant, so I can say, and also it is given a, it is started from rest. Rest mean initial velocity will be equal to 0. Mean this is starting from 0 velocity. See, there are two options we are getting here, A option and the B option. If there is some intersect, which means if it is having some initial velocity, then and this is the graph velocity and this velocity and distance graph. This is the graph of velocity and the distance. So we need to check this graph also. So here, see here, the velocity is changing and it is starting from rest at v equal to, at t equal to, wait a minute. It is started from like v equal to 80, v equal to 80, integration this thing, then okay, a dt. Okay, now v equal to some 80, mean velocity need to be linear with respect to the time. So if I am taking this as a velocity and this time, this displacement a t as the displacement here, now I can directly put it here that at, and another thing is there v initial is equal to 0 here. If v initial is equal to 0 and finally I am having 80, then v final is equal to 80, then v equal to u plus 80. Okay, v equal to u plus 80. And another thing I am having here, what I am having, v square equal to 2 square plus 2as. Acceleration is constant. Then initially rest v square equal to 2as. Okay, you can see the graph. This is the constant, v equal to like this. If I am having, see this graph s and v square, this graph will look like this, s and v graph. Now see this graph. This will be the, we need to reverse this graph, like velocity. Like if I am tilting this graph, थोड़ा इसको tilt करना है, like in this case the option this will correct. This is the real graph. If I have s here and v here, I need to reverse this graph, then the graph will look like this. Then the option B will be correct. Now this is the last question for this class. See this question. In this question, you need to use your very conceptual knowledge. Like at a particular time, what will be the velocity, what will be the displacement. You need to apply that concept. Which of the following velocity time graph shows a realistic situation for a body? Okay, see this graph. See, realistic situation. Realistic situation means actual में ऐसा होना चाहिए. Now, see here. This is the A, this is the B, this is the C graph. See, in this graph, we are having this type of shape. If it in one's time, like t time, what I am having, there are two type of velocity. Two type of velocity, that will be v1, same here, that will be v2 velocity. That is not possible. At particular time, particle having only single velocity. Similarly, in this case, let's say this is the time. I am having this velocity, and again I am having this velocity v2. That is not possible. Same in this graph. This is the v1 velocity. This will be the v2 velocity. At same time, particle does not have different velocity. Particle have different velocity. So in this graph, see, in this graph, particle having only single velocity, and correct option will be for this case is this B option. Okay, so that's all. Any doubt till now? You can ask if you have any doubt. You can ask. And here. Write in chat box, like give what was the class, and how you hope you learned a lot in this class. And thank you. We will meet in next class. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.